timer to trigger a response in the physiology.
Whoa, hold on. Repeat the name of that thing.
Pavlovian response. You type it in. So Ivan Pavlov was a psychiatrist who did something called Pavlovian response therapy. He's responsible for the bells in the schools. The whistles at work became bells, right? And in the penitentiary, they count you by the bell.
Right. Right. Facts.
Right, so those are all Pavlovian response network systems.
Whoa.
Right, now the school is a Pavlovian response Skinner box. Skinner box was invented by B.F. Skinner, uh, practicing psychiatrist who used his own daughter as a tool of experimentation in the Skinner box for social and psychological condition to make her into a certain character type. So the schools using those two sciences is begin to develop drones through the system by dumbing them down and making them respond to the bells or the lower chakras in this case, based on what the sister was explaining. So as long as you operate in your lower chakras, your upper three chakras not being used. Right? Because your heart chakra is inconsequential until your crown chakra active. So it's just spinning, doing nothing. Where your other three lower chakras, your lower base nature is running amok within the anatomy of the individual. It's also understanding the science behind the layout of the planets in the solar system. By understanding the chakras, you as within, so without, as above, so below. Right? So if we don't respect the sun and the moon, then how are we going to appreciate the stars?
Facts. Facts. Did anybody else wanted to add something? My apologies.
I'm good. I'm taking notes.
All right, all right. So we're gonna get into the reindeer, and this is gonna take us to the attachment of why we need the children. All right. We're gonna start digging into the next couple of slides when we talk about reindeer. We're gonna talk about immaculate conception, and we're gonna talk about the kidneys. All right. In the next three slides, we're gonna learn the why of the need of children. All right. Because remember, we already creating this gift. All right, that we're putting underneath the tree. All right. All right, we already broke down the whole concept of the tree. So when it comes to reindeer, when we look at the word rain from reindeer, it's a French word that translates into kidney. And the German rein means chaste, pure, uncorrupted, virgin. All right. I need you guys to remember that. Rein means chaste, something pure, something that's not that has not been corrupted, as in with a virgin. All right. As related to the Dutch rein, which means chaste. Hence, we they used to have before the chastity belts. All right. To be chaste means to abstain from unlawful sexual intercourse. And the story of the Virgin Mary, the moon, giving immaculate birth to Jesus, we already know that sus means kind of a swine, is about all of us. We are the ones who remain chaste, pure, virgin, uncorrupted because we are mentally consummating. There go them bells. Remember, we talked about this a few in parts two, almost at the end, about all these dingings and all these stingings. Brother Hayes just broke down the fact that just like we did in Word Magic paper PowerPoint, that we are ruled by bells, the schools, the work. Ding 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 ding, break time. Ding 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 ding, back to work. Ding 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 ding, time to go to gym. It's always some type of bell or a ting sound that we're hearing. All right. So we are all consummating or our relationships while believing our acts to be physical within this hologram matrix construct. All right. And I have the definition of chase for those not aware of it, as well as the translation from French into English, where we do realize that rain means kidney. All right, it's a French word for kidney. All right, so you could literally say that reindeer could be the kidney of a deer, but the kidney of what? We're gonna get into that in the next slide. Does anybody want to add something in this one? Hayes, Salima, Yassini. If not, I'll go to the on to the next one.
Yeah, you good for the next one?
Okay, cool. So that's where where the immaculate conception comes in. All right, because we are separated by our cocoons or our iPods, and only interact with each other through the electrical signals that the brain interprets as being physical. In this way, we all remain virgins, quote unquote, and every single birth is an immaculate conceived through the gamete intrafallopian tube transfer process, given as a Christmas gift from every human who chooses to conceive to the ET gods to grow us in their Garden of Eden, or the Eden of Saturn. Now, this immaculate conception concept, it's already being presented as a reality. All right. And I have a link right here where I'm just gonna play out probably like a couple of um give me 1 second while it loads up. Uh, Skip, and I'm gonna I want us to build on what this is the first farm. All right, the first. Why is it not letting? Oh, because I'm on. Oh my God, I forget that this thing does not. Hold on, family. Before we do anything, let me. My Google be acting retarded, so it be doing crazy stuff. But let me put it in another browser so I could because my Google for some reason is always preventing me to take out the
Okay, Taz, while you're doing that, I want to ask Rob Hayes a question.
go ahead, sis.
So, knowing what all you know about things, what do you have a preference on? I don't want to say like what what's the creator to you, if you don't mind.
That's
The
Big Mama.
creator. The creator.
That's Big Mama.
Okay, Big Mama created everything, or she?
We all in her uterus, so she ain't created it. She still get the credit.
Okay.
She's show carrying a heck of a load.
We all in here. If you see what's called black in the sky, them the fathers. That's her uterine walls. That what they call dark matter,
Damn.
the sacred noon, the primordial abyss of creation.
Okay.
Wasn't wasn't
So
nothing there until parthogenesis took place in the womb of the great Big Mama.
if you're gonna say dark matter, then I'm gonna say, what about antimatter? Then is NASA lying about antimatter?
Antimatter is just another name for dark matter. It's the mirror opposite of matter, energetically speaking.
It's the true black mirror.
Hmm.
I was gonna say, because who would control it if
Right. So your love and light came out of triple darkness.
mhm.
That's why the light becomes the light of the world when you awaken the Kundalini within.
So this okay, so the story could still be a creation story, however, it's just with the a black woman instead of those tales that they made up. Is that what you're saying?
Everywhere that the woman was celebrated, they replaced her with a man. All of these stories has been turned into patriarchal glory stories to undermine the actual women who put the work in. Well, I want Layla Ali to be the greatest woman champion of all time, so I paint my picture and say that my name was Lali Ali.
Hmm.
And then I put all her information under my title. I ain't did shit. I'm just a thief. This is what all of the women of the world that were the guys of old were removed and replaced with, boy, they most of the time they just put a beard on them and they look like a man in drag.
That's what I always said about those Egyptian cartouches they were finding and stuff, talking about it was a man, it was a man. I was like, how you put his beard on backwards unless he wasn't even, look, all of them men, they crazy. You know how they lie.
Yeah, everybody talking about the pharaohs had these temples and shit built. The pharaohs came, the males, the men who was the ruling kings, they didn't have shit built. They didn't authorize building projects. His wife did all that shit. She the one called in the architects, which back then was mostly women.
Damn. All that
Right.
shit makes sense for real.
So she called in her architects and started creating new designs. If you notice, since the designs of the Greek buildings, there has been no forward progress in designing of architecture. Everything is just reruns of what's already available. But when the women was being a creative architectural self, right, they were coming from under the different priesthoods, the Sekhmet, which they was learning combat, Bass, which they was learning community development, program development, Black Panther shit. Right? They was coming out of their different respective clans and they was learning all of that shit, experiencing each clan, and then they would go create something that had never been created before. And that's what the Mary Magdala is really Mary with the mandala, who had the mandala effect.
Oh,
The creative effect, bringing forth the creation from the womb.
holy fucking shit.
Damn.
Wow. Okay. Well, you teaching. So now that we're talking about the womb, let's build on this, my brother. Tell me what you think about this lunacy right here. This is called Ectolife. It's the first
This,
real world first artificial womb facility. It turned the act of giving birth into something that you keep track on an app. On an app on the phone.
That's that sick book coming into play. Women don't even have to push out a baby no more. You get to keep your body forever.
Well,
You breaking natural law left and right.
My theory on this is that after what they just did to us with the forced vacations that they gave to all these people, a lot of women's wombs will not be able to hold a baby no more. They are literally capitalizing on something that hasn't taken place yet. It will come a time that the womb will be so infected that, because the point is, to keep the woman under control, to keep her down at all times. So by making sure that you control reproduction, and now you're getting, in my opinion, family, there is no soul in somebody that's created in an artificial womb. That's just me. I don't care what DNA you put into that being, but this is what's gonna capitalize on the chaos that's gonna be caused by the upcoming downward spiral of the population of the world. Why? Because remember, before they broke down the what are those rocks called? Where it said that they had to keep the population under
the Georgia Guidestones.
the Georgia Guidestone before. That's why they broke them down, because they didn't want nothing. Okay, so you guys saw them, whatever. but we don't need your predecessors to see them. The people that are going to come after you, the children that are growing up right now, we don't want them to know about those stones. We don't want them to know that at one point in time we were telling y'all that we wanted to keep the population under a certain number in accordance with nature, quote unquote. All right.
Where did
But
they get that number from, though?
But
right.
that's the problem. That they number ain't got nothing to do with nature. What they doing is pushing they open penal code on indigenous peoples. Because I'm gonna tell you, remember you were asking earlier, like why would they give up their uterus? Okay, as a woman that's been through the medical system, the first thing to tell you is you got fibroids, and the best thing to do is give up your uterus. Or we didn't have a slew of kids, which we do, because I got 5 and I already got 6 from my oldest. I ain't even counting the other ones that's old enough to have them. Okay, so now they tried to get my daughter to get rid of hers, talking about, oh, you done. No. And this is how they get us. They use these, like the chief said, Chief Black Rock Gratitude. These are scare tactics that they use on the indigenous women when we go into the facilities willingly. This is why we said do not take those DNA kits. Where you think of the genetic code come from? That's what the Genome Project is all about. They needed our genetic code to fix that shit. Okay? So y'all took those DNA tests. You let them take your uteruses without willing to do self-care, self-love to yourself so you can keep our nation going. You helping them inadvertently with this bull. Okay? So I'm just, that's just some of it. That's just the tip of it. That it's deeper than that. But hey.
I did a video called The Desecration of Holy Places, Hysterectomies and Mastectomies. Because the same way that they desecrate our holy places on the land is the same way they desecrate the women by removing their uteruses and chopping off their mammary glands. But then they put the mammary gland on top of the mosque. And then they put the uterus in the form of the head of the Baphomet. So they can villainize the woman at every turn. I told y'all that. What you're looking at with these pods is nothing new. This is old Anunnaki technology. It's in the holy tablets. It's in the sacred tablets, the cuneiform tablets of Sumeria, when it said that they was growing the children in the birth pods. This is what they was talking about. This is how the Anunnaki was altering the genetics of the species of Earthborn that was already here by using these techniques of accelerated development, right? That's how they was able to clone using this process. And not only do they clone, they also do something called genetic diversification by moving certain things slightly out of position on the genome to have it give a different effect in what's being born. They monitor it just like this on the ships that they use for the birth maidens. If you go back to Mother Hubbard, if you go back to Inanna, these were birth maidens who overseen the pods on the ships when they was taking long galactic trips. They would grow their own avatars on the ship and jump bodies instead of die. Right? So this is what you're looking at. If there's a description of it in the Sumerian tablets, and also on YouTube, there's some sisters that did some remote viewing on early Egypt for the Farsight Institute. If you look it up, they're going to describe these same birth pods, and they're going to describe the giant praying mantis looking being that was the protector of the birth pods, right? So all this is already old technology rediscovered by modern humanity after the genetics has been altered.
That's insanity for real. That I would have to agree with Jasmine. With what we're seeing that they're doing now. that's some sick people stuff or whatever, you know. But
Mhm.
others obviously breaking it down. I encourage you to. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, you know, because it's an 8 minute thing. But Ecto Life, just feel free to check out the video. It is the first world's artificial womb facility that it's already built. This is the capacity that it has. It goes into further detail, but we're not going to take it too far there or whatever. I just wanted to make sure that we introduce that into what we were talking about in regards about immaculate conception. If nobody wants to add nothing else,
One more thing.
go ahead.
Look up Cabbage Patch Kids origin,
Okay.
and look up Cabbage Patch orphans. Right. So these was children that they was growing in the laboratory back in the day.
Okay.
Right. They had a big exhibit of this at the World Fair in the 1800s. But this supposed to be new technology.
You said Cabbage Patch Kids origins, and then you said Cabbage Patch what?
Orphans.
Oh, okay, Cabbage Orphans. Okay, I'll see if I could. Oh, okay. I'll look deeper into it because it's not giving me exact details,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll definitely look into it. But go ahead, brother. Continue, please.
Yeah. So this is old tech. They just rediscovering how to use this tech because we had a nuclear holocaust on Earth that gave us an early ice age known as a nuclear winter.
Okay.
We coming out of that ice age now, and the closing of the age just so happened to be the time that we restore all things. Right? So when we talk about immaculate conception, this was the cause of the war between Inanna and Enlil that started in Nibiru because she produced a male child parthogenically.
Woo!
They took away the male right to rule from the Anunnaki and gave it to the Earthborn. So Enlil got pissed and launched the attack on the divine feminine, the great mother, Inanna, Isis. Whoever sit on the Isis seat, the wife of the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh's mother. But the Pharaoh is really the woman. Because the word Pharaoh means the woman of the house. The woman is the light of the house, to be more specific.
Damn.
That's deep.
That's
That's
why
deep.
they told us it being great, the great lighthouse.
Oh, teach. Okay.
Right? So the woman can catalog the DNA of every man she ever slept with. And the storage place is called the Queen's Chamber in her brain.
Is that why those pharaohs be looking so feminine?
Probably because they turned the men into the women into men in order to conceal the rulership of the women.
Mm.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Everything is designed to feminize the men, masculize the woman, underline the divine masculine and feminine by not allowing it to manifest by the laws of nature. But we was put here to become our best self so we could be the best mate for our mates.
Okay.
And contrary to popular opinion, every dude be thinking he pick his woman, he don't pick her, your mama pick her. She just used your heart chakra to find her.
Mm. Damn.
Facts. 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 Facts.
Okay, Rod, do you think do you think Aleister Crowley was verbatim when he said um, learn everything backwards.
Yeah, he was telling you that they flip everything on you. So if
But
you don't learn
everything,
how to flip it back, you can't see what they telling you.
but everything is like pretty broad. you know,
Yeah, they use everything that we already do against us. We already do a whole lot of shit.
And then at the end of learning it, you said you didn't want to go through that shit no more. So
Mm-mm.
now you got to start over. Anyway, if you want to do something with yourself.
damn.
I don't
Yeah,
mean I gotta like it.
right. Well, definitely.
Ain't
Well,
no, it ain't nowhere in the rule book that say as I go through my development, I supposed to like it.
That's right.
I can get mad about this shit, kick my toe on the motherfucking corner of the bed, stub my toe.
Hell no.
I can be mad about this shit. Long as I get the job done, that's all that matters.
yeah, most definitely. So let's keep in mind now, just to go on to the next one. Let's keep in mind what we found. And remember, rain means kidney. All right, the rain in reindeer means kidney. Now, when we're looking at the word kidneys, the ren in children, all right, children is the Latin word for kidneys, name of a precious stone. We also find the word kid within the word kidney, and the Swedish ren, that means clean, clear, pure, which obviously connects in the language web with the German rain and the Dutch rain, pure, virgin, clean, and chaste. The kidneys obviously also help our biology cleanse everything, which makes it clean, clear, and pure. So we see this purity concept that we find within the concept of ren, since we have the word children, because we already know that the rain deer, the rain also means kidney, as well as the ren in children. And I know a lot of people. What did I hit the? This is, well, the ren in children is the reason why you have renal. When you're talking about the renal glands, it says of or pertaining to the kidneys. All right. Everything else, I mean, you could go ahead and read it on your own. Press pause and read the rest of it, or whatever. But the point is that the renal or the ren, it pertains to the kidneys. All right. As with the whole children, all right. Why the kidneys? Because a child is pure. It's not, it hasn't been touched yet. It's still in this virginity state. All right. So we have the child plus ren equals children, and the kid plus knee equals the kidney. All right. Looking forward, we have the reincarnation. All right. The reincarnation, because we're in a cycle. We're stuck in a cycle. All right. And we're steady coming back over and over, and we're not accomplishing what we came to accomplish in the first place. But before that, did anybody wanted to add anything about the kidneys?
Go back a couple slides.
Back,
One more. Okay, the word reindeer right here,
right?
it's also a code. The
Okay.
the rein also means rulership of something. And the deer is the what you call zoo type for the elk lodge, which is the Elks clan, those whose totem animal is the elk,
Mm.
right? So this is the rulership off the elk lodge comes at the cycle of the new solstice. So it's telling you a particular lodge.
Really?
And then you have the reindeer right there, that's the parody of Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And the Randolph is the black girl matching.
Okay.
So she surfaces once again to get her point across. Y'all niggas gonna learn y'all something today.
Okay. Okay.
Most definitely, most definitely. That for those that didn't hear in the
You
background.
gonna learn today.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
But absolutely, absolutely. Going back to the one that we was in with the kidneys. All right. If nobody wants to add anything else, I'm gonna go
If
to.
you see those kidneys, they look like the early stages of fetal development of a set of twins.
Yeah.
Because when they go through the first stage, they look like a butter bean,
Oh, I see what you're. Holy shit.
right? So the the kidneys are the purifier of the blood. It's a filter, right? And the urine comes out sterile,
Facts.
but when it's exposed to the light, the uric acid converts into ammonium, which contaminates the urine,
Facts. Facts.
right? But as long as it's in the bladder, straight from the kidneys, it's purified, right? So this is when you talking about um, the need of a precious stone, talking about a kidney stone. We also find word kid with the word kidney. Kid meaning the baby goat who's going to grow up to be the great Baphomet. The Baphomet symbol is the goat head, which is also the symbol of the uterus, right? And then it says obvious connection the language web with the German Reich. And the German Reich was the Reich. In the reign of the Reich, the Fourth Reich was the unknown Reich operation.
Ooh. Okay.
So they get caught selling drugs. Now, in the United States, there's a law. It's called a culpability law. If the government solicits you to commit a crime, and you commit a crime, and the government is your co-defendant, you can't be prosecuted.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Everybody with a dope case, their co-defendant is the U.S. government. Let that sink in. Because the government has been the ones bringing the dope in the whole time.
Distributing it, transporting it, delegating what locations to distribute it for, for whatever reasons. Yeah.
If we knew about the opium wars, right? This is what caused Mao Zedong to rise to power. The British was going into China and they was creating what's called opium dens all over the country. And wars broke out in the transporting of heroin or opium at that time. It wasn't heroin yet.
Yeah.
Right. So then they had what's called the Opium Wars. The Opium Wars gave birth to something called the French Connection. The French Connection was transporting China white, but in the movie, I think it was cocaine. But cocaine don't come from France or Asia. It comes from South America.
Yeah.
And some of the islands produce the coca leaf too. Yeah. Right. Now, while all of this is going on, we over here oblivious. Walking around la-di-da in fool's paradise.
Because remember, most news, when you go abroad, you actually hear more news about your country than you'll hear from inside your country. So we're usually just like, we think have free speech and we can delegate and say things out loud and no, it's everything censored from inside and